RuneScape has been a roller coaster recently. Over the last year, I've had the privilege to fight back against the scammers that have infected my favorite game. And in that time, I've untangled the inner workings of several elaborate scams, foiled their plans, taken their money, and even fallen in love several times. I've had my heart broken by ladies that, get this, weren't actually ladies? Can you believe that? But I haven't learned my lesson because today I'm exposing the scammers' scammy scams and making them very angry. And apparently they're gonna do something about it. This scammer messaged me saying my personal information has been leaked. Don't worry, I'll be talking to you later, mister. I'm not gonna let him stop me. Today is one of those days I pose as bait for the scammers, waste their time, and show you how they've social engineered hundreds of players out of their RuneScape GP, so that hopefully you don't fall victim to the same end. I've been sent countless submissions of people losing the most expensive items on their accounts to people they considered friends. Tens of billions of GP has been scammed this way, and Jagex needs to patch this. Let's begin with the story of just one of them, and our submitter here wants to remain anonymous. The submitter is casually doing some solo Tombs of Amascut when he spotted a player in the lobby by the name of Gob, who was talking about his last pet transmog he needed to complete them all. Our submitter and Gob added each other to their friends list and on Discord, and then they went their separate ways. Some time passes, and our submitter receives a Discord message from Gob, also known as Curtis. Apparently there are some PKers that are trolling him, and he wants our anonymous submitter to go and pick up all the loot they are trolling him with, telling him to bank everything. But it doesn't work out. So Gob asks him to set up the lure this time, and this time it works. The submitter runs out of the safe zone with nothing but telegrab runes and gets 20 million coin. He admits that this is the moment he was in a flurry of emotions, recognizing this isn't a lot of money, but still, he was able to get 20 mil. His logic goes out the door, and after this, the lurers ask the submitter to perform one final task. To take all of his most expensive gear and walk into the outside safe section of the Ferox Enclave. But this still is the safe zone. There are several safe tiles outside the entrance of Ferox, everybody knows this. But somehow he still ends up dying, losing 6 billion GP in the process. If you look closely at the top of his screen, you can see he's not actually in the wilderness. It really says he's in the safe zone. So how did these lurers do this? I'm gonna find out exactly how this scam works. I need to because I don't want to get lured this way as well. However, exposing this lure to you guys is probably gonna make this guy pretty angry. This is a leaked picture of me that has been passed around between RuneScape scammers. And they've been trying to find my docs, my personal information and stuff. Apparently by showing my face in a recent video, this guy has been finally able to confirm that this picture is me. After 5 years of clever detective work, he didn't know that I was the one that leaked this picture on my public Twitter profile. But hey, good on you for finally putting the pieces together. And as much as I enjoy playing this 4D game of chess you got going on here, I have found more challenging battles against Necron warriors in Warhammer 40,000 Tacticus. If you haven't heard of it, it's a free mobile game that I've been playing while taking care of business and waiting for the FBI to track down these scammers. FBI, open up! I've been enjoying the game just for the simplicity of being able to log on whenever and solving a new battle. It's pretty strategic with visible level ups and therefore more dopamine. You can assemble and lead 70 legendary champions from 17 playable factions. And just like RuneScape, it's a turn-based combat experience, levels become challenging to reach, and there's just enough grind to make each milestone a rewarding experience. I play this game for free, just like tens of thousands of other people that have reviewed this game and have given it spectacular reviews. And you can get Warhammer 40,000 Tacticus today with the top link in the description. But on second thoughts, this guy will probably be pretty angry if you do that, so consider that before you continue. Now, after seeing countless people fall victim to this, I needed to see this lure for myself. So I set myself up as bait. I equipped my 1.6 billion GP twisted bow and flaunt it at the Grand Exchange. A guy named The Deep calls my name and trades me. He puts up this dragon pickaxe and actually accepts. Okay, free money. But here's the thing, is that I know this could be one of the guys that lures at Ferox, because a lot of the tipsters that contacted me said they got a free item first, and were befriended in lots of other ways. He wants to go do some raids later. Yeah, this is exactly how the other guys were lured. How could I refuse raiding with such a generous man? So I add him to my friends list, and the long con was set in motion. 9 days later, I log into RuneScape again. And what do you know? He's waiting, like a vulture. Responding slowly isn't a problem here, and misspelling a word or two plays into my slow brain persona. My friend hasn't done any raids on this account, and he can check my raid skill count on the high scores, so I have to act like I haven't done it before. I ask if he can teach me. He says he can teach me in 1 hour and asks for my Discord handle. But if I add him on my main Discord account, ChemQ, he's gonna stop the call and not show me this lure. If I'm gonna figure out how they do this lure, I need to use a different account. But if I create a new account for this, they're gonna sniff out that I'm anti-scamming because they can check when I created my Discord account. Luckily, I created a Discord account over 2 years ago for this very purpose. And now I finally get to use it. First, I have to join some popular RuneScape Discord servers to make it seem like I'm not just an empty Discord account. So I do that, then I can respond and tell him my Discord handle. Boom. A friend request from Jake OSRS. He has a very wholesome picture of him and his girlfriend on a hike or something. But we already know this is not him. He could have found this on somebody's Facebook or on Google Images. I talked to him through Discord for a bit, making him feel more and more like I am who I say I am. But then I decided I'd play hard to get. I wouldn't respond to him for 2 days. The more I play hard to get, the more confident he is that I'm just a regular person, not trying to expose his lure or anything. If I was desperate to try to get him to lure me, he would smell something fishy. So I let the situation simmer. He waited 9 days to reach out to me, so we're both slow cooking each other to what we want the other person to do. I'll get him to reveal his magic trick and hopefully without losing my twisted bow. 2 days later, he wants to call me. But if I talk, then he'll know it's me and I won't be able to reveal his lure. I tell him I can't use voice and I join in the call. So he's talking to me and he tells me to hop into his world at just the right moment. Boom. I get 160k and a whip. If this was back in 2007, I would be jumping with joy at this moment. But now here I am as the lure victim thinking we can actually anti-lure these people. So maybe we can do it again, right? I split the loot with him, but he guilt trips me for not being able to pick up the spectral spirit shield. Yet another way that he's manipulating my emotions. Eventually, I decide that I can start speaking so long as I modify my voice a bit.
Hello? Hello?
He starts asking about my personal life, where I work, what I like to do. I told him I was born with some birth defects that make my voice sound funny. Also that I'm on a disability living allowance, and then he felt bad for me, so he decided not to scam me. He apologized and ended the call. If only, right? After 5 minutes of talking, he trades me on his luring account. It's kind of strange communicating with someone you know is actively trying to con you. Plus you have to reasonably manage the fake relationship between you and the lurer, and you and your supposed ally, who is actually also the lurer. He drops the spectral spirit shield to tease me. Then he tells me to drink all the Zamorak potions, lowering my hit points. Then these two accounts go off in the distance and I have no idea what they're doing up there. Comes back and tells me to attack him. I think of this as nothing at the time, maybe some kind of irrelevant fluff to the lure. But then I'm told to go get my twisted bow. And this is where my heart rate jumps. I just stall, intentionally misunderstanding what I'm being told to do. I delay for just a minute and a half. But now the lure tells me to bank the bow. But why would he tell me to do this? It's not like they're gonna get it this way, so it's just a waste of time for him. I'm confused. They tell me to wait here again. What are they doing up there? Then wants me to attack him again. Fine. I get my twisted bow out again, and this time approaching the Ferox Enclave exit a bit more. But I still don't understand this lure, so I'm playing it extremely safe. I am not going out there. For another 30 minutes, Jake tries to convince me to come out, repeatedly telling me to bank the bow and attack again. That same cycle repeats of them going north, me attacking and me getting out the twisted bow, about once every 2 minutes. And so now I've finally put the pieces together. Now, this might not be the same lure group that lured the anonymous submitter for 6.5 bill from before. Perhaps it's a different lure group altogether. But now I know how this works. I remember there are some weird mechanics with the safe zone, where if you're teleblocked in it, you can still attack anybody that you've attacked in it before. This is why they run north. It sounds counterintuitive, but they teleblock the guy in obsidian armor and the whip. If he is teleblocked and I've attacked him in the last 2 minutes, he can hit me even if I'm in the safe zone. I tested this with some volunteers and it works. But apparently everything needs to take place within 2 minutes. Me attacking the opponent, going into Ferox Enclave, getting my twisted bow, and coming back out. This is how they kill players even when they're in the safe zone. Up to this point, I thought it was by using some kind of trade stall. I'd go out of Ferox Enclave, and they'd get me to accept the trade request of somebody that's in the wilderness, and they'd drag me out into the danger zone. But this whole platform is dangerous. I did not know this, and most people that go to Ferox Enclave probably didn't know that either. I geared up my account because I really wanted to kill one of Jake's lurer accounts, but after an hour of him attempting to lure me, he logs off. I was just a bit too late. But luckily, I have my team. I can rely on our member with codename ZazimaFan22 in our anti-cheating alliance. And he's anti-scammed these lurers before, never risking anything, but managing to get an arcane spirit shield. And now he's back, being messaged by one of these lurers again. Once again, this guy has been long conning him, trying to make it seem like they're friends. But ZazimaFan knows the first steps of this lure and exactly how to counter it. He picks up the 2 items intended for him, then predicts the lurer's movement and picks up the spectral as well. That was not part of the lurer's plan, and he ends up walking away with over 50 mil in profit. Seems they downgraded from an arcane to a spectral, because they lost one too many arcanes, I suppose. But he's not done there and decides to try it again on a different account and manages to get another spectral. He attempts to do this a couple more times and ends up barely not getting a spectral and an arcane spirit shield due to not having player identification priority over the lurer. Just a little unlucky, but he still came away with lots of profit. The important thing to note here is that ZazimaFan22 was not risking anything, which is pretty smart because maybe he didn't fully understand the lure. I say this almost every video, please don't try this at home. The only way we win against these guys is if you ever see them in game, just report them and hop worlds, because curiosity will kill you. But we did steal some loot back from the people that stole it in the first place. However, this is just a drop in the ocean of what they've scammed from hundreds of other people. The real way we need to fight back is preventing confusing mechanics like this, trying to get Jagex to patch this method, and also raising awareness that these guys are long conners that will wait weeks or even months to build rapport with you and then scam you out of your bank. So we got the shields, but the real prize we got from this video are the account names. They have some really high level accounts in on these lures, and I've submitted the names to Jagex. TOA Kings has finally been banned after doing this scam for years. Permanently banned, hopefully with a few bill on his account, because he was flaunting his wealth for a few years. Even if the others changed their RuneScape names, I've got them all accounted for on Scam Tracker 2.0. Your threats of doxing me are as empty as your accounts are gonna be.